All right. Good evening, everyone. We got a good group here. We're going to get started here. Um, Let me know if you can hear me. Can somebody just comment and let me know if you have sound? Just making sure. Okay. So we're going to get going here. The reason we're doing this on the Facebook page and not the group is they're not letting us stream onto the group anymore. So this is kind of open to everybody. Anybody who finds our page can watch this. So welcome to any guest that is not a patient or local or wherever you're watching from. It's all good. It's cool. Maybe we'll get some hecklers on here. That'd be cool too. That'd be a lot of fun. So let's get started. We got a lot of work to do. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into toxicity today. We're gonna talk about the toxic truth. And let me start with a hard truth here. The hard truth is that most people aren't just tired or bloated or foggy or anxious or inflamed because they're getting older. They feel that way because their bodies are overloaded. And we're living in the most toxic time in human history. Never before has the average person been exposed to so many chemicals. We are exposed to over 700,000 toxins each day, and that's in our food, our water, our homes, our products. Even our thoughts can be toxic. And here's the kicker: most of that is happening silently, so you're not going to always feel toxins when they're coming in, but you feel them when they build up and spill over. We're going to get into that and how that works. And maybe it shows up as brain fog. Maybe it's bad sleep. Maybe it's hormones are off. Your skin's flaring. Your energy is shot, or you just don't feel like yourself anymore. The good news is your body isn't broken. It's brilliant and it's trying to adapt. It's trying to keep up. Your body wants to detox. And when we remove the interference and support that process the right way, then the results can happen and it's very powerful. So this webinar tonight, it's not about getting the junk out of your body, um, out so that your body can come back online. That's the idea. Get the junk out so that you can come back online and detox from the inside out. So this isn't about extremes. We're not going to be going over gimmicks. This is the way that your body was designed and just getting it to work properly. All right. So let's get going here. So this picture here, I'm just going to blow this up because I want you guys to see my family. So this is my family. We were in Arizona a couple weeks ago, and we hiked Cathedral Rock in Sedona. It was super fun, and we're healthy, and I'm healthy, and I'm very thankful for that. But my story is that I was not always healthy, and there was a season where I dealt with severe toxicity that really put me down, and it completely took over my brain, my organs, my body, my liver, kidney, spleen. The whole detox system was jammed up, and I had to learn a lot about detox just to get out of that situation. Um, and so today, what we're going to go through here is the three things that you're going to walk away with. Understand the top sources of toxicity. Number two, how to get rid of them so you can minimize the toxic load in your body and in your home. And then three, what can you start doing today to support your natural detox pathways? Supplements we're going to go over. It was actually a big part of my healing was good, solid, high quality supplements. If you're someone who knows you're toxic, you'll have an opportunity to start on that, and we can get you going into that and get you on some specifics. Opportunity to purchase the detox system. We're going to go over that and some necessary micronutrients. How to attend a webinar, how to attend a workshop to get the most out of tonight. Number one, take notes. Passive listening retains only 15% of the information. It's kind of like a waste of time. Active listening, where you're engaged, you're into it, you are commenting, responding to others' comments, taking notes. Even if you never go back to look at them, it increases your retention by to up to 90% just by writing things down and staying engaged. And the fact that you're here today and that you're on this tells me three things about you. Number one, you're a lifelong learner. You wouldn't be on here if you didn't consider yourself a lifelong learner. Number two, you're dedicated to your health and to your future. And number three, You prioritize according to your values. There's other things to do. Some are choosing those other things to do right now. If you set aside just an hour and a half, 6 times per year for our advanced workshops, there is no way that you don't end up with complete health transformation at the end of that year. So the goal and the key and the way to do this best is to just come to all the workshops, attend all the webinars, and you will always grow. You'll always move closer to getting healthier and healthier, which really stays in alignment with what you want for your future. Excuse me. All right. That's my family. Defining toxins. What even are toxins? So, toxins are any substance that's interfering with your body's natural process. So, especially the way your body communicates, heals, regenerates. Some toxins are natural, meaning mold, bacteria, even heavy metals can be considered natural toxins. Others are totally man made: pesticides, plastics, synthetic fragrances, industrial chemicals. These are made by man. The deeper truth here is it's not about exposure, it's about interference. Your body is brilliantly designed. So every organ, every cell, every signal is under direct control of innate intelligence, which is this inborn ability for your body to heal and adapt and detox, so that you can thrive. But toxins interfere with that design. They jam up the signals, they clog those channels, and they create like a static in that communication system. So it's like you're trying to run your life and someone keeps cutting your power off, scrambling your texts, putting garbage in your gas tank. That's what toxins are doing to your body's biology. But your body was built to detox. So getting into how your liver, kidneys, your skin and lymph, how all those work together with your gut to be continually expelling toxins, because we can't eliminate toxins. We can't just avoid toxins. I don't like the idea of living a life of avoidance. Do the stuff you want to do. Understand the things to avoid that are definitely harming you, but after that, live your life. We can't be scared of toxins. When this workshop comes up, I always get a little bit annoyed because I don't want to teach this workshop. I actually don't like it. I don't like teaching about this because a lot of it is avoidance. A lot of it is, well, don't do this and don't do this and stay away from this and this. But really, it's empowerment, because if you have the knowledge of those things, then at least you can set up your life with systems in place that keep you from taking those things in at a high level or on a continuous level. If it's going to happen every once in a while, if every once in a while you drink a bottled water because you're super thirsty, fine. That's what your detox systems are there for. But if we're drinking bottled water 7 times a day and that's the only water that we drink, that's something that we can make a switch for. And so, as we're going through this today, don't get jammed up about, well, how in the world am I going to do all this? There's so much to do. This is so overwhelming. Don't be overwhelmed. Just take this as setting up the systems in your life so you can minimize toxins. That's why the essential is minimize toxicity, not eliminate. You can't eliminate. Minimize the toxins and maximize your body's ability to detox. All right. The problem isn't in your body. The problem is the overload. We're bombarded with these chemicals every day. And a lot of these didn't even exist 100 years ago. So, again, this isn't about fear. This is about empowerment. All right. Let's move. Okay. So, nearly 1 in 4 deaths worldwide is now linked to toxic exposure. So that's not genetics, not accidents, not bad luck. It means we're not just getting sick, we're being poisoned, and it's a slow poisoning by things we touch, breathe, eat, drink every day. And the part that no one is saying loud enough is that all of this is preventable. Um, because it's tolerance that's the problem. It's not just the toxins. We've normalized exposure to these chemicals because everybody does it. Oh, all the kids eat that at lunch. Oh, I see all of my friends doing this. They're all using these products. They're all eating that food, right? But it's exposure to these chemicals that our grandparents never even encountered, and it takes a long time for them to build up until they boom spill over and become symptoms and dysfunction and disease. It's serious because of what they're doing to your health and your cells. They disrupt your basic cellular biology. This is how toxins will poison your enzymes, and that's like your electrical circuits of your cells. Without those, your energy production just tanks. They're going to displace minerals, which doesn't just mean weak bones. Your cells can't hydrate or function properly without minerals. They're going to damage your organs one cell at a time. So over time, how that shows up is fatigue, brain fog, hormone issues, etc. Here's a crazy one. They can flip your genes on or off, affecting things like weight gain and even cancer risk. So your genes, your genetic expression can turn on or off based on something called epigenetics, right? Well, part of epigenetics, which is lifestyle induced genetic changes, a lot of that has to do with the toxins that you're bringing in regularly. And this can lead to even cancer. Cell membranes can get hardened or damaged where it makes it hard or impossible even for nutrients to get into your cell and for waste to get out of your cell. And then they interfere with hormones, they mimic, they block, and they mess up with your communication systems. But it's not permanent. Your body's, again, trying to repair, trying to restore. You just got to remove the interference. Detoxing isn't optional in today's world. So that's why we have the 5 essentials. This is what this is all about. We're talking about getting your body the essential things it needs, the essential nutrients, the essential oxygen, the essential mindset, the essential nervous system supply, so that your body can go to work and do the detoxing that it was made to do. Because health is a state of being, it's not a destination. So you want to stay in a good state of health, is the idea. The key is to keep your body in a detoxifying state. So not doing cleanses every once in a while and then living in garbage, but actually staying detoxing. I like to use the analogy, you want to be a fountain, not a statue. You don't want to be a statue that just builds up all the sludge and continues to pile it on stagnant. You want to be a fountain. You're continually flushing out toxins on a regular basis because you've built your body to do that. And this is how you do it. Number one, chiropractic. Your nervous system is your most powerful detoxifier. It controls detoxification. Your nervous system identifies toxins and removes and signals to remove them. So the healing, resting, repairing state is necessary for effective detox. Adjustments and regular chiropractic care keeps you in that healing, repairing state. Nutrients. So, nutrition. Yeah, you got to stay away from toxic foods because processed dead foods aren't going to be recognized well. Um, but it's also getting the essential micronutrients to support detoxing. At the end of this, we're going to talk about which micronutrients you need in order to go through phase one, phase two, liver detoxification. It's awesome. Third thing, mindset. Your thoughts are going to drive your health even more than you think. So, toxic negativity, lack of gratitude, just toxic paradigm altogether. You get put on a toxic medication to treat a symptom. That's a toxic paradigm of health right there. So, that's driven by toxicity too. And then oxygen and exercise. Again, fountain, not a statue. You want to be sweating every day, moving your body, pushing all those toxins through your bloodstream by increasing your blood flow and circulation through exercise. Sedentary bodies are toxic, bottom line. So, those are the essentials. That's what we're going to be teaching on here. So, straight up, let me ask everybody, and this is for you, are you gaining weight even though your diet hasn't changed? Are you feeling exhausted but can't sleep really well? And are you breaking out? Are you bloated or moody for no clear reason? These aren't just random issues, it's your body's warning lights. It's a signal that your liver is overworked, drainage pathways are clogged, your cells are inflamed. That's how it starts to show up. And meaning it's not always the big scary diagnosis like cancer. Toxic overload just looks like symptoms first. And here's some other symptoms on there, muscle pain, spasms, constipation, headaches, and migraines. There's a toxicity component to that as well. So the myths that we need to debunk, there's a few of them I wanted to make sure that we go over because I hear about it all the time. We got to take our health into our own hands. Just because it's sold in stores, myth number one, it doesn't mean it's safe. And so a lot of products have chemicals that actually have never been tested for long-term effects. The FDA doesn't require pre-market safety testing for personal care items, which sounds crazy, but the store shelves are actually like the Wild West for toxins. Myth number two, organic products, excuse me, are always toxin free. That's not true. Organic means fewer pesticides. It doesn't mean chemical free. And the products can still have toxins, heavy metals, and then the processing chemicals can be in them even if they're organic. Myth number three, small exposures don't matter. Um, Not true. Low dose repeated exposure to toxins accumulate in the body. And that's usually how it works to make somebody toxic. So endocrine disruptors like BPA, that affects your health over time, not just in one big exposure. So the reality of regulation here. So I liken it to this. Uh, would you ever buy a car if no one tested the brakes first? Of course not, right? But that's exactly what we're doing with shampoos, lotions, makeup, deodorants that we're using every single day. So in the US, again, FDA doesn't require any safety testing before these hit the shelves. Contrast that with Europe. So in Europe, they've banned or restricted 1,300 toxic ingredients from cosmetics. How many has the US regulated? 11. And that's not like a typo. It's 11 out of thousands of chemicals, which means that's not regulation. It's basically just a free for all. And so this is why we can't trust the label or just the store shelf. I was the type to think if it's in the store, it's got to be safe for you. But it's really it's on you. The burden of safety for you and your family is on you, the consumer, not on the stores or on the companies themselves. And when people first hear this stuff, the toxins, the microplastics, endocrine disruptors, it is very overwhelming. I understand that. Again, that's why I don't like doing this. I don't even like this workshop because I'm not trying to, I don't want to overwhelm people, but we've got to get into it. So you think things like, where do I start? And that's a valid concern. But the shift is that fear makes us freeze, empowerment makes us move. The point is not to scare you, it's to wake you up gently because once you see the problem, you can finally become part of the solution. Your daily decisions, the air you're breathing, what you're putting on your skin, what the food you're putting in your body, what you're speaking over your life, you can then have it in your hands and take control of that. And when you are in control of it, there's so much more hope, there's peace, there is just a much better feeling about your health knowing that you're pursuing it the right way using the knowledge that you do have. So those of you who are on here, you guys are getting that knowledge. So let's get into foods. All right. And again, if you have questions, please put it in the comments. Go ahead and comment. We're gonna be answering these throughout quite a bit, but also at the end of this, our doctors and team are going to go through these comments and give more answers to it. The other thing is that I've put together an ebook, which is going to be more of like an action steps manual for this workshop. So if you want the ebook to be sent to you or printed in the office, we can do either one. It can be it could be electronically emailed to you or sent or printed for you. Just write ebook in the comments, and we will make sure we get everybody who writes ebook the free ebook for this workshop today. All right, let's go. So food, we don't have a food shortage. We have a real food shortage in this country. What we're eating does it barely resembles what our grandparents ate. And I think we've all kind of come to that realization one way or another, but calling it what it is, most of what is in the grocery stores isn't food. I like to call it food like products. It's artificial. It's substances that look like food, but there's not food in them. And there are some families and there are some people who all they eat is artificial food like products. And they wonder why they're sick. They wonder why their kids are sick. So bright colors, 0 calorie food like diet foods, it's toxic. Low fat foods, toxic. Sugar free, but chemically loaded, toxic. There's over 10,000 food additives that are approved in the US. So just a few of these just to list them off, and this will be in the ebook, but like I said, low fat, fat free foods, granola bars, cereal. Um, most of these have refined sugars, unhealthy oils, preservatives, even if they're called organic. Flavored yogurts, usually those have added sugars, artificial flavors, dyes. I like this one, veggie straws. And what do they call the veggie chips? It's not actually made from vegetables. And if you look at the ingredients, there's there's bad oils, unhealthy oils in them. There's additives, and if there's any veggies, it's made from powdered vegetables, not whole ones. So you are not getting vegetables from veggie straws. I'm so sorry. Sports drinks, Gatorade, Powerade, Prime, whatever the things are, they market it as hydrating, but usually excessive sugar, artificial flavors and dyes. This causes metabolic dysfunction. Um, and I know there's the issue of, hey, my boy just played in a little league game, and at the end, what happens? Snack time, right? And they're so fired up about snack time, and they get their Gatorade and they get their little Oreos or nacho Doritos, and you just have to set it up where it's like my kids know that we we drink and eat an alternative to that. And so try to provide an alternative to the snacks after the game. Now, that might not be a hill that you want to die on. So you make your own rules. It's like, hey, maybe we do the snack that the team is passing out, but we don't do that at home. But you have your rules that you follow and you're confident with it. At one time that was us. We said we're going to go ahead and do the snack. And now we've kind of, as we're leveling up just notch by notch, the next notch is, no, we're actually not going to do those because we've got 7 sports schedules in my family. Like, that's a lot of Doritos and a lot of Gatorade, and so we wanna make sure that we're minimizing that as much as possible. It takes getting ahead of it, it takes being intentional, but it's worth it. Plant-based, meats, that it's not meat, it's filled with unhealthy oils, Beyond Burger, whatever it's called, Impossible Burger they used to have, it is just toxic garbage. That is not food whatsoever. All right. And where are we at here? So remember, so red dye, and thankfully, red dye is getting taken out. Finally, they're starting to move on some of these things, but it's going to take a while for any of these things to come out because financially, the food industry, everything is it's so intertwined with the medical system, and they're really in too deep when it comes to a lot of these toxins. So I wouldn't bank on any movement happening in government to really help anytime soon. It's going to take a while, but red dye is finally coming out, at least the red dye number 3. But it was in there for over 30 years after it was banned from cosmetics. So they took it out of lipstick, but they allowed it in gummy vitamins, kids medicine, birthday cakes, and the kicker is that red 3 doesn't just make your cereal look really fun, it actually hijacks your kid's brain chemistry in real time, and you can see it and experience this with your kids. So what it does is it disrupts dopamine pathways. They get super fired up and hyper, and then after that quick moment of excitement, the hyperactivity turns to attention problems, behavior disorders. You can actually witness this and see the spikes. And sometimes kids will be acting a certain way. It's like, did you have any food dyes? And sure enough, oh, yeah, well, I did. I had that sucker. I ate that cake with frosting or something. It's that sensitive with these kids' brains. So just something to be aware of. It's not just red 3, it's a lot of the food dyes. And a lot of kids, it'll increase impulsivity, irritability, mood swings, and then it can get misdiagnosed as ADHD. And one study showed that removing artificial dyes, including red 3, improved symptoms in up to 75% of kids with behavioral issues. So it's not harmless. It's a neurochemical experiment that's been done on an entire generation of children. 30 years. 1990 was when they found out it caused cancer back in animals. Was 1990, and they've kept it in this long. And when it comes to fat and toxins making you weight loss resistant, this is why it happens. So maybe you've been eating well, but you like can't lose certain weight, especially around the midsection. A lot of times it's because your fat cells are storing toxins. They are holding on to toxins to keep those toxins from entering your bloodstream. So we have this innate intelligence that is so smart, and it keeps our body safe from toxins. So what it'll do is it'll hold on to fat. And toxins are there are fat soluble toxins, meaning they have to become water soluble to eliminate them, and they will sit in your fat cells. Heavy metals, pesticides, preservatives, food additives, plastics, even mold toxins. And how does this relate to weight loss? The toxins are so dangerous to your body that your fat cells engulf them and they trap them, just like you see in the picture there. And they expand, and there's these enlarged fat cells that are that won't release because the damage of the toxin being released and flowing through your bloodstream outweighs the damage of the extra weight, usually around the midsection. I can't lose this weight. I don't know why. No, you can't lose it because it's dangerous to your brain and the rest of your body to release those toxins. Being overweight jams up your detox pathways also, because more fat storage is going to mean more toxin storage. So that think about like the really big storage room in your basement, or the really big storage area in your garage. What do we end up doing? We fill it. And what do we fill it with? Junk that we don't need and we don't use for years. And so losing weight is not just about having a lighter coffin at the end of your life. It's supporting your natural detox pathways so you can live happy and healthy for a long, long time. That's how it affects weight loss. And this is kind of how it works with symptoms. It's the toxic bucket theory. Maybe some of you have heard this before, but I want to go over it again. You don't feel sick from using a toxic sunscreen one time. Um, you feel sick when all of these different toxins build up: heavy metals, mold and mycotoxins, chemicals, medications, skin products, and they build up slowly over the years. And there's a tolerance phase where there's no symptoms, and then it overflows. And then you have symptoms, and those symptoms could be subtle, or you could crash, and the symptoms could be rapid weight gain. All of a sudden, you blew up and gained weight with no rhyme or reason. Sudden onset of insomnia, depression, fatigue. All of a sudden, you're getting weird joint pain and headaches, high blood pressure. You're not handling stress like you used to. All of a sudden, you have sensitivities to chemicals or environmental things, and your immune system is suppressed, and you're getting sick a bunch because you're opened up to infections. That's a bucket that has overflowed, and that's usually when chronic disease gets diagnosed. And so the key is to be emptying the bucket, be in a state of detoxing where you are continually emptying this bucket at a faster rate than the toxins are coming in. You're always going to have toxins coming in. But if you're not proactive to keep the detox channels open and healthy, you're going to end up with symptoms. And what are we taught to do with symptoms? You go to your doctor, you get on a medication, which adds to your bucket. And does that help the situation or hurt it? So more toxins, same underlying problem, and we're just circling the drain. And so the key is to be emptying that bucket continually. So where do toxins come from? Well, there's various places, right? So you've got food, water, environment, cosmetics, cleaners, and containers. Let's go over those for right now. There's other areas too, but here's your main ones. These are your top six. And again, I have an action steps ebook for all six of these. Just comment ebook and we will send it to your email. If we don't have your email, send us your email as well for whoever's watching outside of our patient base. Okay. Let's start with foods. Um, Here's a wild stat: over 90%, so 9 out of 10 people have detectable pesticide residue in their bodies right now. Not a conspiracy theory, that's CDC data. So you, me, your grandma, we've all been sprayed by pesticides because they're not just any chemicals. A lot of these pesticides are neurotoxic, meaning they affect your brain, your mood, your memory. Some are linked to hormone problems, fertility issues, and even cancer. And yet um, we call this type of food clean because it's in the produce aisle. Remember, shop the perimeter, and you'll have clean foods, but that's not always the case because of pesticides. And so the action step is prioritize organic, especially the dirty dozen, which will be sent to you on the ebook. If the budget is tight, start with these few strawberries. These are the ones that have the highest levels of pesticides, super high. Strawberries, spinach, apples, and peppers. Those are your worst offenders. Strawberries, spinach, apples, and peppers. Start with those, and at least you're knocking back the top few. Food prep and storage. So right here, yeah, food prep and storage. So the way you prep, the way you cook, storing foods, that can build health or it can sneak toxins right into your body on a daily routine. So 5 easy upgrades. I'm going to list them for you. No, number one, swap plastic for glass or stainless steel. So especially for hot foods or leftovers. So some brands that we like to go to, Pyrex, um, uh, WEC or Elio or Elo. Actually, don't know that one. That's the one I read. These are glass containers. Number two, ditch Teflon and aluminum pans. Those are going to leach um, PFAS or forever. They're forever chemicals, which means they stay in your body for over 5 years. Um, so instead of Teflon or aluminum, you want to use cast iron, ceramic, or stainless steel. That's a must. And in my mind, with just how dangerous it is when you're heating up foods, you got to use non-toxic cookware, and a lot of these have become cheaper and cheaper along the way. The thing to consider is even with a ceramic pan, if it gets scratched, then it's leaching aluminum through that. So those little scratches on there make it toxic again. So sorry about that. If you have a really great ceramic pan that you like, but it's all scratched up, you got to replace it. Um, some brand ideas, Lodge cast iron, and then Caraway is a good brand for ceramic. Um, All Clad is a good brand for stainless, and there's a bunch of other ones too. Next is washing your produce. So even the organic ones, rinse it with a splash of white vinegar and water to remove pesticides and bacteria. Using a veggie scrub brush is also great, especially for root vegetables. And then cutting boards, you want to use wood or bamboo cutting boards. Yes, wood. Plastic boards are going to leach microplastics and tiny little particles into your foods. Wood is actually antimicrobial in of itself. It will handle the bacteria and it lasts longer also. So wood is actually a decent option. Even though it seems like it would be dirty, it deals with the microbes better. And then fifth is replace aluminum foil with parchment paper. So if you're baking or roasting or covering your food, um, don't do it with aluminum foil. Then you get aluminum into your food. Look for the unbleached parchment paper for the best results there. And all these changes seem really small, but they stack up and they add up to a whole low toxin kitchen. It won't be a zero toxin kitchen, but if you can reduce it from with what you know, you might as well do that and feel good about it. All right, and getting into plastics. This is a crazy one because the average person, the study showed now consuming about 50,000 microplastic particles per year. That adds up to about a credit card's worth of plastic every week. But the bigger question, what is it doing inside your bloodstream, your tissues, and your kids' developing brains? These are chemical carriers, so they're not just passive. They leach endocrine disruptors, they leach heavy metals. It's not just the plastic, but it's what's within the plastic that gets into the nervous system. You can't eliminate these completely. They're everywhere, obviously, especially now. I mean, and we need plastic. I mean, it'd be crazy to not use plastic. I'm not anti plastic. I think that's unreasonable, but you can drastically reduce your load. So if you think about it like this, the less you bring in, the less your body's going to have to deal with. So 5 swaps. Number 1, ditch bottled water, get to stainless steel or glass water bottle. Do a water filter at home. That's going to help a lot. Number 2, swap um, food storage, plastic for glass, like we talked about with Tupperware. I mean, you can taste it. Like if you have food in a plastic Tupperware and then you heat it up, you can smell and taste the plastic. So that's going right into your system. So you want to do glass for that. Seafood actually has plastics in it, so be choosy with your seafood. Wild caught and smaller fish is always going to be better. Lower on the food chain, less plastics that they have accumulated. So um, wild caught, smaller fish for seafood. Number 4, vacuum often, vacuum and air out your home regularly. Why? Because microplastics are in dust, indoor air. Dust actually has problems in it. Like it's there's some nasty stuff in dust. And so keeping your home clean, keeping your air clean, air out your home even in the wintertime, open the windows, let the air refresh. It's so important and you'll be healthier because of it. And using a HEPA vacuum cleaner has been helpful because if you use just a vacuum cleaner without a filter on it, without a HEPA filter on it, what it's really doing is just sucking up all the dust and it goes right back out. And yeah, some of it gets in the bag, but a lot of it just gets spewed right back out. Especially like you use a Dyson, let's say, like those are really cool, but if it doesn't have the filter on it, you're just sucking up. You're getting the big stuff, but you're sucking up the dust and just shooting it right out the fan. Um, so you want to be doing a HEPA filter and wash that bedding out in hot water. And then number 5, switch to natural fabrics. What you're wearing. We wear plastic. The polyesters, the you know, I mean, it all started with like uh, like Nike Dry Fit, right? It was like back in the day, and like Under Armour comes out with all these like cool um, sweat wicking athletic gear, and then all these other brands, and now it's just all plastic. And the key is your base layer, your base level of what you're wearing. Don't wear plastic. Switch to natural. So cotton, wool, bamboo over the synthetic blends. So polyester and fleece, those are made from plastic. If they're ever like so soft that it is like the sensation is just too soft for nature to even produce, it's actually made of plastic. So cotton might not stretch as much, but it's healthier for you, especially when you talk about underwear, because it's just more sensitive in terms of hormone disruptors. Bamboo is actually a really good one. There's brands that have bamboo as the main source. Those are healthier for you as well. And again, it's not about trying to be perfect. Just make these small upgrades, start making them. Small changes over time is going to be a massive reduction in your bucket for your lifetime. Excuse me, getting over something here. All right, water. You drink it, you are cooking with it, you're showering in it. Your body is literally made from the water that you consume. So the most tap water though has trace amounts of lead and arsenic and pesticides, even pharmaceuticals are in tap water. Obviously, fluoride. Grand Rapids is known for that. And then forever chemicals, PFAS, microplastics is all found in the municipal city water supply. And they've been linked to cancer and brain fog and hormone issues and thyroid issues and all of that. So, 3 simple steps to clean up your water. Number 1, we mentioned this, get a water filter, quality water filter. At a minimum, countertop filter. There's the Berkey water filters. I mean, even if you're doing a Brita water filter, they're not the best, but it's gonna get rid of something. But if you did like an under the sink filter, like a reverse osmosis, that's gonna be great. Best case, whole house filtration, because when you're getting rid of the chemicals and the toxins from your shower water, now it's the fumes, also the steam that you're breathing in when you're in the shower, or the kids are in the bathtub for 20 or 30 minutes or whatever they're in there for. it's not leaching those chemicals into their bodies or into your lungs, because that way, actually, it's been shown to be more toxic inhaling the steam through your lungs than the water hitting your skin itself. So, a shower filter or whole house filtration. Number two, avoid plastic water bottles, glass or stainless steel, and then the shower head filter was number three. So it's kind of all within that together. And the next one, which we kind of mentioned, is air, because the air you breathe is really like the cellular environment that you're living in your body. So the indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air, and that's invisible toxins from cleaning products and furniture and synthetic fabrics, everyday household dust. Um, so I've got some top action steps for cleaner indoor air. I'm going to go through these quickly. Um, Invest in a high quality air purifier, and some of these can get pretty pricey. Um, the top pick, if money wasn't a thing and you just want to get the best of the best, and air quality is just so important to you, the ones that we have in the office are called IQ Air. That's hospital grade filtration. Um, this captures the ultrafine particles down to 0.003 microns. So that's viruses and smoke and dust, and VOCs, which is volatile organic compounds, which leach from furnitures and chemicals and paints. And we use that at RFC, and that's to protect our team and to protect our patients for every adjustment visit that they're in the office. Is incredibly clean air. The other trusted ones that I like are Austin Air Doctor, Blue Air, and then there's one called Molecule, which we've owned before also. That one's better for VOCs, a little bit less effective for the dust and pollen, but it's really, really good one. And then opening your windows daily, let the stale air out, let fresh oxygen in. 10 minutes a day can reduce toxins big time. Use a HEPA vacuum. Um, Ditch synthetic air fresheners and sprays. Those plugins, get rid of them. Don't even give them to your neighbor. Throw them in the garbage. It's trash. It's toxic. Replace it with like an essential oil diffuser or natural brands. There's some natural brands, like there's one called Grow Fragrance or Plant Therapy. Both of those are fine. Um, Next is go natural with cleaning supplies. So there's actually, you're adding VOCs or chemical toxins from cleaners, bleach, ammonia. So instead use better brands. Some of those are Branch Basics, Thieves, Dr. Bronner's, and there's a bunch of other ones too. You can actually use house plants to purify your air. So spider plants, peace lilies, snake plants, uh, rubber plants. It's like nature's natural filters are these plants. Just avoid, if you're mold or allergy prone, there can be molds that occur in the soil of these plants. Um, but the plants themselves help to detoxify. And then dust and mop weekly. It's just important to get the get the dust out of there, because those hold on to microplastics and toxins from your shoes and your clothes that just settle into your floors and into your carpets and everything like that, especially with kids playing on the floors. All right, and then there's some specifics um, with cleaning products. I see there's a bunch of really good um, comments on here, and I'm not going to be able to get to all these because there's so many of these. But put your questions on here. Put your brands that you really like, so we can kind of help each other out. Let's make this a community thing. Any strategies that you know that have worked really well for you, feel free to share them on the comments. And then again, if you want the ebook, just say ebook on there, and we'll send it to you. But when it comes to cleaning products, it's like if I handed you a bottle and said, don't drink this and don't breathe it, don't touch it with your bare skin, you'd say, well, why is this even in my house? And most conventional cleaners have these hormone disruptors, these asthma triggers, these skin irritants, and you breathe them in with every single spray. And it's not about being perfect. It's progress with swaps, right? Um, but here's some swaps to consider: all-purpose cleaners. Um, skip the Windex and Lysol and try better brands, Branch Basics, Thieves, Household Cleaner, Seventh Generation, Bronner's. That type of thing's gonna be better. Glass cleaner, same exact thing. There's a do-it-yourself where it's 1 to 1 vinegar and water and a drop of lemon essential oil works great for glass cleaning. Disinfecting wipes, bleach wipes are major lung irritants. So try um, botanical wipes like from Cleanwell or Force of Nature. Air fresheners and sprays, Febreze and Glade, those have to go. Those are just toxic bombs. The plugins are brutal. So try the essential oil diffusers. That's what I like. And then toilet and tub cleaners. Um, Again, just pick the better brands. I like to. It's more about trusting the brands than it is specific products because the brands are going to be holding their own integrity and accountability. And if you know a brand is trustworthy, then you can go with everything that they are making. Personal care products, anything that goes on your skin ends up in your bloodstream. In fact, it's a main line to your bloodstream if it's put on your skin. So lotion, deodorants, shampoos, it ends up into your skin. Um, and this isn't just cosmetics. This is chemical exposure that we're talking about. Can lead to hormone issues, infertility, cancer. It's not about using them once, it's using them daily for decades, and that's when things really start to pile up. So, I've got the swaps here that I'll send over to you guys, but you can swap out all of these types of products: lotions, shampoos, deodorants, fragrance and perfumes, makeups, baby and kid products. Just reducing the daily dose is so, so important because it's almost better if you have one of these toxic skincare products, it's like I'd rather you ate it. I'd rather you put it in your mouth and swallowed it. It's gonna be less toxic for you because then at least it has to go to your stomach where the acid is gonna break it all down and you're gonna then be able to process it and send it into your elimination systems. When you put it on your skin, it is a main line straight to your bloodstream. So that's why we're um really strict on sunscreens. The generic or the store bought sunscreens that are really popular. You got Coppertone and Hawaiian Tropic, and you know the brands, the ones that you see on the shelves at Walgreens or Meyer or whatever. Those are typically going to have a lot of chemicals in them, and that's a chemical sunscreen that actually alters your body's ability to detect that the sun is hot and that the sun is there. And so you won't burn because a chemical manipulation is happening within your body through your bloodstream. The way it works is that it goes into your bloodstream, whereas a physical barrier are the more natural ones. Like you've heard of zinc oxide. You want to look for one that the main ingredient is zinc oxide. It's a physical barrier that will actually block the sun if you need sunscreen. Um, what we do with sunscreens, we have the kids play outside for at least 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how tan they already are. We get a little bit tan, but depending on how tan they are, we let them play for a while before we put sunscreen on because we want them to get the healthy effects of the sun. And then we put on natural sunscreen on them so that it's a physical barrier, not a chemical manipulator. Does it rub in as well? Does it spread as well? There are some that do. One that we like is Badger. There's a few other ones, but Badger tends to rub in pretty nicely, and it provides that non-toxic physical barrier for you. Okay, where are we at here? All right, so we're gonna move on. Actually, we're gonna get right to this one. So EWG um, is a site. In fact, I have a QR code later, but if you're watching this on your phone, it's hard to kind of grab the QR code. I get that. So you can look this up. They have apps. EWG Skin Deep is an app. Um, Cleaning products is another part of that site, and then the Yucca app, Yuka, and that's going to give you clean brands, and that's actually the easiest way to go about filtering through whether a brand is safe or not. So we use these apps, especially when new products come out. We want to see exactly what they're coming out to, what score that the EWG is giving them. The lower the score, the less toxins that are in them. So you can come up with your own standard. Hey, we only use a 2 or better, or we only use a 3 or better. And at least you have some say and some control or what's going in your bodies and your family's bodies. It's a good feeling to know that you're making intentional decisions with these toxins. Because again, the goal is it's the bucket. It's keep your body detoxing. Don't fill up the bucket faster than it can empty. We went over some of this already, so I'm actually going to go ahead and skip this because I jumped ahead earlier. Um, and we got into some of this too: buying organic, grass fed and wild caught, ditching the processed foods, reading labels. Yeah, there's going to be a good section of this on the ebook for you. But when it comes to what to eat, you know, toxins, think about it like toxins light the fire, but these are the types of foods, these anti-inflammatory foods that actually put the fire out. Inflammation is known as the root of so many modern diseases, but it's not the inflammation that's the root. It's the lifestyle that causes the inflammation that's really the root cause. It's your behaviors that create the inflammation. You weren't stricken with inflammation randomly, and maybe you just didn't know what's causing inflammation or what you can do to fight back against it. But here's some things that you can do: berries, greens, turmeric, ginger, healthy fats. These are like the heroes against inflammation. They don't suppress symptoms; they cool the fire at the source. And this is the hope: was that you don't have to wait 6 months to feel a difference. Your body responds quickly when you're given the right materials. It's amazing. Even just 2 or 3 days of eating clean, you will feel your inflammation decreasing. It's incredible. You'll feel more tone, you'll feel cleaner, you'll feel your energy get better no matter where you are in your journey right now. So don't underestimate the power of just one good meal, or winning one day can get you on track to actually feeling better because your body wants to detoxify. You just got to give it the right stuff. So eat these every day to reduce inflammation. Berries, especially the ones that end in berry, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, high in vitamin C, it cools the inflammation off. Add it to smoothies or salads. Or I like eating them frozen. Like I just pour a cup of frozen organic berries. I like to say, don't skip your berries. And we even talk about that when it comes to the advanced plan and the core plan, in the new book here, which is the 5 essentials to real health right here. This book is going to go over the core plan and the advanced plan for nutrition. And this has in it, has a bunch of recipes. Obviously, you can find recipes online. I get it, but it's more engaging to have it inside the book. And it really does break it down so simply. It's super easy to understand, super easy to read. It's actually a fun read. We're going to be getting these books in pretty soon here, and we're so excited about it. It's brand new with Max Living. So you want to eat your berries, leafy greens like spinach and kale. Chlorophyll is going to help bind and remove toxins from the body. Put it in your soups, put it in your egg scrambles. It just helps to move that along. Turmeric and ginger, these are anti-inflammatory herbs, reduces pain, supports your detox pathways. And try something called golden milk, which we'll get that recipe in the ebook. But the golden milk recipe is great for turmeric, and it's like a hot drink that really helps to detox. And then healthy fats, avocados, olive oil, almonds, and walnuts. This reduces inflammatory markers and it helps to carry those fat soluble toxins out. So use cold press oils only. Um, Real fats are going to help you heal. And then green tea or matcha green tea, um, rich in antioxidants that help you flush toxins out. 1 to 2 cups a day. It's going to support your liver, energy, metabolism. You're going to feel great. I'm a coffee drinker, but I'll drink green tea every once in a while. All right. We went over this, but part two about this, if you've been listening, you're like, well, shoot, what is even safe anymore? Is anything safe? This is all the stuff that I buy for my family. This is all the stuff that I've always eaten, I've always used. Don't let it paralyze you. Let it activate you. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Start with one swap, one decision, one label that you read that you didn't read yesterday. That's how momentum begins. And your body's really resilient. It's designed to heal. Your cells right now are rebuilding as we speak. So when you remove the interference, this is the chiropractic principle of health. This is why chiropractic permeates all of the essentials, because it's a chiropractic lifestyle or a chiropractic lens of how to live with your health. Because if you remove the interference, just like the adjustment removes the interference to allow the nervous system to communicate and flow so that you can be healthy and function well. In the same way, when you remove the toxins, you remove that interference, give the body what it needs, it will move towards health every single time, because the body is geared towards health and not disease. When you go to your doctor's office, when you go to your medical doctor, oftentimes there's a disempowering message that patients hear, and that's that my body's geared towards disease. I'm getting old. I have weak genetics. I'm destined for the same stuff that my mom, dad, my grandma, my grandpa had. It's just not true. Your body's geared towards health. So be empowered with that and don't walk away from this overwhelmed. Walk away knowing that you have power. You can clean up your home. You can protect your family. You can create a future that's proactive, not just reactive. That's what we meant. That's what we mean when we talk about living fully alive. Here's that QR code if you want it, if this is something that'll help you. EWG is what we use. It's fantastic. Skin and lymphatic drainage. This is when we're talking about moving your body and getting your skin and your lymph fluid circulating. It is important. And there's some certain ways to do this. And maybe you haven't heard of some of these ways because it might be a little obscure to some of you, but there's something called dry brushing. You take a brush, and a lot of our team members do this. I've done this myself. You can what you want to do is get a dry brush on Amazon. It's like 8 or 9 bucks. You get a dry brush. Um, it's specific because of how many bristles are on it. It's really dense. It really helps to push the lymph and get things activated. And before you shower, you brush your skin and you brush towards your heart so that you don't damage your valves. And you brush your arms, your neck, behind your knees, underarms, your legs, and it stimulates your lymphatics and it stimulates your parasympathetics. So it actually kickstarts and activates your detox. So dry brushing is great. In the same sense, using a loofah in the shower, because pores can get clogged and toxins can get into your tissue. And with women, toxins can get into the breast tissue and around the underarm. And so using the loofah to really kind of scrape and activate those skin cells to start to turn over is going to help you to eliminate toxins. Toxins like to go into your fat. So, especially if you're using a toxic deodorant or an aluminum based antiperspirant, that's actually blocking your sweat, it's blocking your lymphatics. And what it's doing, it's backing up all those toxins right into your tissue. So, for women, where does that go? Men too, but typically with women, where's it going to go? It's going to go into the fat and into the breast tissue. So you want to use non-toxic deodorants, and you want to be dry brushing and using a loofah in the shower. Next, and like the picture shows, make sure you're moving. Move your body. Our bodies were designed to move. Our detox systems require movement. You can't detoxify if you live a stagnant life. And so, how often should we be moving? My answer to that is every single day. You should be sweating with movement every single day. You're like, well, I haven't sweat with movement in weeks or months. It might be somebody on the webinar who says, I haven't sweat it with movement in years. Fine, just get started. Your body wants to detox, it wants to heal. As soon as you get into the right direction, you are no longer an unhealthy person. You are now pursuing health. I like to say people who look in the mirror and they say that they're overweight or they say I'm fat. As long as you start the process of detoxing and putting the right foods in your body and you're pursuing good metabolism and good health, you are no longer a fat person. You are a person pursuing health. So with movement, with exercise, just start moving, even if it's just walking. Sedentary equals toxic. When you exercise, it widens your arteries. It widens the capillaries, those tiny little arteries that course all the way through your body. They widen It starts to send the blood through and sends the toxins through so you can get rid of it. And it feels great. That's why after working out, you feel great. That's why after going into a sauna and sweating a ton, you feel great. And so you can actually just do that more often and become more of a fountain rather than a statue. So sweat regularly. Try to sweat. Put extra clothes on if you're going for a walk. Get a good sweat in. Um, get into a sauna if you have access to it. Exercise with intensity. If you're exercising and you're not quite sweating, do an extra 10 minutes. Put the thing, what's it called? The treadmill on incline. Wear a weighted vest. Well, I don't have a weighted vest. Well, do you have a backpack? Fill a backpack with a bunch of heavy stuff, and now you have a weighted vest. So solve the problem, figure it out, put your health first, and stop making excuses. You have to move your body if you want to be healthy. All right. I won't be so hard on you guys on this one. Depleted soil. So nutrients are required for detox. And I'm going to get to a slide where it shows all the micronutrients that your liver needs in order to go through phase one and phase two detox. But so just to show you, between 1975 and 1997, average calcium levels in 12 fresh vegetables dropped 27%. Just in those years, 75 to 97, iron levels dropped 37%, vitamin A levels 21%, vitamin C levels 30%, average drop of 22% in minerals from 1930 to 1980. So from 1930 to 1997, we've dropped 20 to 30 to 40% in vitamins and minerals. And that's just 1997. Here we are almost 30 years later, 25 years later, and it's dropped even further because of farming practices. And so right now, you need to eat 8 oranges to derive the same amount of vitamin A as our grandparents would have gotten from eating 1 orange. So even if you're eating everything right, our food supply is not enough to give us the micronutrient level we need to heal. That is where supplements come in. That's why I take supplements. That's why we talk about supplements. But you want to make sure that your supplements aren't toxifying your body. Two problems with supplementing today: most supplements are toxic. They're just plain toxic. They're loaded with fillers, with cheap substances. They artificial sweeteners, colors. They actually toxify your body. And what they have is something called low bioavailability, which means they don't absorb well. They're not recognized by your body as nutrients or foods because they never make it to your bloodstream, and then they never make it to your cells. You're basically just eliminating it. You're urinating, you're pooping it out. And so this is how cheap supplements can cause more harm than good. Um, so if you're not going to invest into quality supplements, I wouldn't advise taking any supplements at all, especially if you're already toxic, because they can create more toxicity and more damage. So what's a cheap supplement? Well, I mean, really, the stores, the the supplements that are on store shelves, you got to consider who owns those store shelves. Well, a lot of those stores also have something, a part of the store called a pharmacy. And if there's a pharmacy in the store, well, then the pharmacy has a vested interest, and the pharmaceutical companies have a vested interest in what goes on the shelves in the stores. That's how a lot of these agreements go. And so you're trusting in a pharmaceutical company approved supplement to go on the shelf. And sure enough, we got people that take these once a day vitamins, multivitamins, in this junk fish oil that turns out to be canola oil, and it's not regulated. And it's just the whole big problem of what's on those shelves. And we see those supplements show up on their x rays because they literally are stuck in their colon, undigested completely. And you can see the once a day, you can see 5 of the once a day Centrums that these people have taken over the last week, and they're just going right through them with no absorption at all. And some of them might absorb a little bit better than that, but it doesn't mean that they're actually helping you. So then that's where like good solid supplementing comes in. First of all, your supplement should not contain artificial flavors or colors or additives. Look at your protein powders, examine the ingredients. Sometimes artificial sweeteners, you're going to find aspartame, sucralose, saccharin. These are in supplements, or even artificial colors, red 40, blue 2, yellow 6. These are in supplements. And so you really don't want any of that stuff if you're trying to detox your body. And so Pure Path, what I love about this and why I take these myself, why I send these and ship these off to my family members, is that most supplements are garbage. And so call it like it is. Most are cutting corners. They load their products with fillers and all the, like we said, flavorants and seed oils and these sketchy ingredients. Pure Path does not play that game. There's never any artificial flavors, never vegetable oils, never any additives or fillers or hidden junk, never pesticides, and most importantly, every batch is third party tested. So, one of the themes that we go with here is proof, not promises. We're not just making brand promises, it's proof through third party testing. And this isn't just clean, this is clinical grade, professional grade micronutrients. These are supplements that work. So, it's what I take. Again, it's what my family takes. Um, I trust in these products. I trust in Pure Path, in the Max Living brand, in Designs for Health, because these are professional grade products. It's not just products with great marketing that goes on the shelves. What do you need in order to detoxify? I mean, I'm not going to go through this entire pathway chart, but bottom line is you need a lot of micronutrients. You need the basics for your liver and your kidneys and your gallbladder to do what it needs to do in conjunction with your gut to eliminate this stuff from the body. If you don't have your micronutrients, you are not going to be able to detox. So it's a multi step process, and any type of nutritional deficiency can affect the efficacy of our detox pathways. Then it leads to a greater risk of developing disease. So, is it important what type of multivitamin you are taking? Absolutely. For your detox, it is incredibly important. Important what type of omegas you're taking. Yes, fish oil is can be very toxic if it's not manufactured and produced with clean ingredients. B vitamins, magnesium, vitamin D. These are the things, these are the basics. And as you can see on there, these are all so vital, but they're definitely the basics. And so to get those basics, what I recommend is the daily essentials. This is the simplest way to do it. It's going to support your liver and gut and your hormones and your cellular detox. This is what I would do before doing an actual specific detox plan, because this will promote detoxification along with the things that we talked about. It's going to fill your critical nutrient gaps from the depleted soils. It's going to be packed with the clinical grade nutrients. D3, magnesium, omega-3, B complex, and multivitamin in a one-a-day pack. So I brought one of mine just so you can see. The one on the screen is a women's multi. This is a men's multi. This is what it comes in right here. So you can just take this with you to work or put it in your car. You can put a bunch of them in your car, put it in your purse. Um, if you're a woman or if you're a man that likes to wear a purse, that's fine too. Um, and then this is what it has in it. It kind of shows you. And so it's just simple. You don't have to think about it. And these are all super high quality. So it's just easy and it just gets the job done. And what we're doing with this webinar is there's a secret word where you can get 15% um off of these products. And so all you have to do to get a discount from being on this webinar. And don't tell anybody, but the secret word, because you guys were on here, so don't tell people that weren't on here. But the secret word is pure. So if you go to the front desk, or if you do it through Messenger or email, just let them know pure, and we will know that you were on the webinar, and you can claim your discount for these products. And what this applies to is um, it's it's really the daily essentials, and it's our next one, which is the detox system. And so the detox system here is incredible. What I love here, so there's a million detoxes out there. If you look up detox supplements, there's there's literally a million online, and juice cleanses and these trendy teas and mystery powders and all this stuff. A lot of them are too weak to do anything, or they're too harsh on the other end to actually sustain. And that's why we like this one. It's targeted, it works on a cellular level. It's gentle, but it's very effective. And we've seen this work for hundreds of patients over the years. It's time tested, it's been proven. I've used this multiple times. What I like to do is actually do this on a quarterly basis. It's a month supply. You're not on this forever. You're not on this constantly. You pulse this either once a quarter or twice a year, depending on what you need and what your goals are. But this isn't like a, a call like a bathroom marathon. You don't need to be sitting by a bathroom. You don't need to be starving yourself. This is going to support your detox processes. It pulls your toxins out of your cells with one of them, full detox bottle, and then the other bottle is the binder, and it's a very specific binder. It's high quality, binds the toxins, moves them through the proper drainage pathways. How does it work? There's a morning and a night formula. Super simple. No crazy rituals. You're going to feel a shift in just a couple days. Typically, people say they start to feel right away. Um, no crashing, no toilet drama, just cellular support. And it's not a magic pill. You can't supplement your way out of a toxic lifestyle. You've got to get to the root cause, and you've got to reduce your toxic load so that you're continually emptying your bucket. But this is going to really help you if you know your bucket's full, if you know your bucket's been overflowing and you're already getting symptoms, you're already getting the brain fog or the headaches or the weight loss resistance, um, or you see that you can notice that your energy is down and you've gained randomly 10 pounds and you haven't done anything different. I would start on this right away with the daily essentials and the detox system, and you're going to start to notice a difference. You'll still need to be drinking good water. You're still eating good whole foods. You're still moving your body and exercising and sweating, sleeping well, and then doing your drainage support with the micronutrients. Because the supplement isn't the hero. You are the hero. Your body is designed to heal. So you are the hero. You're just giving your body the tools that it needs to do what it's designed to do. And then when you pair this with the lifestyle shifts, that's when the magic happens. The energy returns, the brain fog clears, you feel lighter and stronger and sharper, and your body finally gets to function the way that it was meant to. All right. So excited about this. It's the same secret word for this one. Just let them know the word is pure. Let our front desk know, and you can get your discount for the detox system. And the way we're going to do this, it's a one time discount. So once you've used it, you've used it. We're not going to track it. It's the honor system, but we ask that you only use that discount code one time. And this is what's happening next: heart health. So our next workshop, we mentioned, you want to be doing every workshop. If you can get to all the workshops, you are going to grow in your health. You're going to learn everything there is to know about keeping your body healthy to avoid the disease, avoid and prevent what could happen. So with heart health, it's so important. We're going to dig into the controversial topic. It is usually a very spirited and fun workshop because it's going to go against a lot of what you guys have already heard or have been ingrained to believe. But studies that have been out for time now are proving that there's a different way to look at the root causes of heart disease, and we're going to dig into that and we're going to tell you the truth about that. So if you want to sign up early for heart health, again, we're going to use the comment system. Just comment heart health, and you will be automatically signed up for the next workshop. It's a live workshop, so it's not a webinar. It's not unlimited seats. So if you reserve your seats now, if you let us know how many seats you want for guests of yours, friends, family members, coworkers, just put heart health +1 or +5 or +10. Bring your whole group, your whole Bible study, your whole coworkers group, whatever it is, and we'll save those seats for you right off the bat, and just let us know if anybody can't make it so that we can open that seat up for somebody else. Bottom line again, guys, your body was designed to heal. You can do this. Don't be overwhelmed. Take one baby step at a time. When we started detoxing, my wife and I, we said, let's make one swap per 2 weeks. That was it. That's how slow we went. Just every 2 weeks, let's make another change. Every 2 weeks, make another change. because it was overwhelming. There's a lot of stuff, and we'd lived totally on the other side for years and years. And so, if you're just starting there, allow yourself to take baby steps and to be moving forward. Because if you're pursuing health, then you are a healthy person. Have a great night. It's been fun hanging out, and we'll see you for your next visit.